Cool. All right. I believe we're live. Ethan Anderson,
All right.
I believe you wanted to dis-
I don't really have an idea. I just
Yeah,
wanted to talk to you.
cool. I just wanted to talk to you too. I have no end of topics that I can provide, but I don't like to be rude.
All right. What do you think about my tweets about Jesus recently?
Interesting. Well, I haven't seen your most recent ones, so I'm tempted to look on your profile right now, but that would be a waste of everyone's time. So why don't you just summarize?
Okay, I'll tell you what it was. I was said that Jesus didn't take the blame for us, but he took responsibility for human evil, and he cured it by showing us how to live with passion despite suffering.
Say that one more time.
Jesus didn't offer salvation by magic. He did it by living by example. He taught us how to live with passion despite suffering.
Hmm. Every great man leads by example.
What was that?
I think what makes people great is leading by example.
Yeah. So I was debating some atheists today because they were saying that, oh no, Jesus was a scapegoat and he died for your sins. That's the only interpretation. But I'm saying no, there's
Oh,
other interpretations. Like maybe he was living by example and that's why he saved us. Because
right,
he showed you how to live. It wasn't because he took it on the blame for you, but he showed you how to live yourself.
right.
Do you think
Yes.
that that's
And
possible?
oh yeah, well, it's interesting because if they already are aware of that, of the possibility of that interpretation, even if they don't want to admit so, I think, because they know enough about Christianity to be triggered by it, right? I imagine if they're like ex-Christians turned atheists, or even like atheists who were raised atheists, um, I think they've been told the ways that Christianity is good, um, but they also heard Christopher Hitchens say that it's the root of all evil. So they're just going on an authority fallacy, I think.
Yeah, because I loved Hitchens, but I don't know if he's right on that point. But
No, he's
seems
not
like
right on that. He's he there was a lot of validity to the arguments that he made, but his conclusion was not correct, I don't think.
But I think they just worship like whatever Hitchens says, right?
Well, he's a very
And Sam
intelligent,
Harris and
he's a
whoever.
very intelligent and confident man who led by example. So he's their Jesus.
Like I love Hitchens, but I'm not going to take his view on everything. I'm gonna.
Well, yeah. The reason I love him is because he had great ability to argue and
Yeah.
a great personality. Right?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean he was right about everything. No one is, right?
Yeah. What do you think about that story of Jesus?
Which one?
Do you think it's the most? I mean, I think the scapegoating theory is the most plausible. But there's some. Do you think there's other like?
No, I think they're both true at the same time.
There. How does that work?
Just like, I mean, okay, so in my view, everything that's related to morality is inherently self-contradictory to some degree.
Everything related to morality.
Is inherently
Why?
self-contradictory to some degree.
Why do you think so?
Well, um, because I haven't falsified that belief yet, and I've tried.
What do you? Well, how did you get that belief in the first place?
By having a wild imagination.
But why do you think that? I mean, what reasons do you have to think that?
Right. So I think promises are the bedrock of morality. Keeping them versus breaking them. And I think promises are inherently self-contradictory because someone has to have faith in you in order to believe your promise. And it's not possible to ever try your hardest to fulfill your promise. It's only possible to try your hardest.
So promises is the foundation of morality?
In my opinion, which is subjective and could be wrong easily.
Why is promises the foundation?
Because that's what builds or breaks trust.
Does it have to be promises, or could it just be honesty and just truth?
Honesty just means you're fulfilling a promise.
And then why are promises contradictory?
Because it's impossible to try our hardest to keep them, even though the people, if we promised a promise to someone who deserved it truly, they deserve for us to try our hardest, and that's impossible.
Say that again.
If we promise a promise to someone who truly deserved it, then in my opinion, they deserve for us to try our hardest to keep that promise to them. And I also believe that it's impossible to ever truly try your hardest.
Why is it impossible to try your hardest?
Because then we would all be Superman.
Superman?
Yeah. I mean, our potential versus our reality is not even close, right?
How do you know that?
I feel like I have already potential that I've wasted in my life, and I feel like I have nearly limitless potential still.
How do you know you had potential? I mean, you can't change the past.
What do you mean? How is that correlated?
What potential did you miss out? How did you waste your potential?
The same way everyone did, by failing myself,
How did you fail?
by letting myself down.
Like, what did you do that?
Anytime I did.
Can you give me some examples?
Sure. I didn't do enough homework in high school. But
Okay.
when, also to a degree that isn't failure, because sometimes I had a good reason and sometimes I did.
So I didn't let myself down because I did all my homework.
But you did let yourself down in other ways.
Like what?
You never failed anyone at anything. You never failed yourself in any way. You never told yourself you would accomplish something and then didn't. Ever?
I'm not sure because I don't look at life like that.
You don't look at life in terms of setting goals for yourself?
Well, if you fail a goal, I think you learn from it, and then you
can learn from it if you choose to.
You adjust.
If you choose to.
Yeah.
Or you change. If you're strong enough.
Or you change your goal.
But you still failed.
Yeah.
You either failed to successfully achieve what you told yourself you should, or you failed to tell yourself to achieve the right thing.
But that wasn't your potential because you tried and you didn't make it. So it wasn't. You didn't not live up to your potential.
I'm saying you didn't live up to. Yeah, we agree. You didn't live up to your.
But you never had the potential. Otherwise, you would have succeeded.
No, that's what free will deniers say.
So you're a free willer?
I'm a compatibilist.
Okay. I'm a compatibilist too.
But you sound like an anti-free will absolutist right now.
Well, you can't go in the past, and you couldn't have done differently. That's what compatibilism means.
You can go in the past to a degree.
How could you have done differently?
Whatever you could have. I mean,
Like,
okay, do you play chess at all?
no.
Okay. All right, let me think of another analogy.
Well, I know about chess if you want to use it. Or you can use it.
Okay, so if you lose a game, you weren't fated to lose it. You were just made weaker choices than your opponent.
Right.
And you didn't have to. You could have chosen better.
But you weren't skilled. You didn't have enough skill to know how to.
Not being skilled is a subjective statement. It doesn't indicate the degree to which you were skilled. If you weren't skilled in it to any degree, you couldn't play the game at all.
But how could you have been more skilled? Like, there's no way you could have. There's no way I could beat a chess master. No matter how many times I tried, unless I practiced for years.
But yes, that's the answer. You try harder than whoever is trying harder than you.
But it takes years of practice. There's no way I could beat.
Right. But my point is that from the moment we pop out of the womb, there's no. Okay, my point is specifically, if we truly did, if we were capable of trying our hardest, we would, because that would be awesome. And we would have a life expectancy of like 15 years.
Wait, what?
Overexertion will kill you.
That's impossible.
It's impossible for overexertion to kill you?
There's no way you can exert yourself that much.
Okay, tell that to the first man in the history of the world to ever run a marathon, who died right after.
I don't think you would kill yourself even if you, because I know people can do extreme exertion, but then they just become stronger. They don't die.
They might become stronger if they don't die and they choose to be strong enough to become stronger.
The first man to run a marathon, he just died.
Wait, hold on, Ethan. Deidre's trying to say something. What? Did she die? Did she die?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay, so this woman, she was in this water drinking contest because whoever could drink the most water would win an Xbox One or some crap. And so she was like trying her hardest to win this.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with running marathon. That's not exertion.
It's just the same analogy over again. It is overexerting yourself.
No, that's from water. It's poison, water poison.
She decided she was going to try her hardest to get that Xbox, regardless of the consequences.
Okay, she died from too much water toxicity. She killed herself drinking too much water. That has nothing to do with too much effort. That's like saying, "Oh, I did too much effort and I drank this poison and I killed myself because I tried."
She tried harder to get an Xbox than she did to protect her life.
Okay,
but
that's
trying your hardest.
That's a different thing. That's a risk.
Exerting yourself.
That's a risk.
Wait. So, in my opinion, she was exerting herself.
So you can only exert yourself physically?
Yeah. No, wait. In my opinion, she was exerting herself to the max, both physically and mentally.
But that's okay. That's a risk of. It's a potential risk of trying your hardest. Is you might do something that kills you.
Lethal to yourself.
Yes. But that doesn't mean that it was the trying hard that killed you.
I didn't say trying hard does not equal trying your hardest at all.
Trying your hardest doesn't mean it's going to kill you. It just means you're at a higher risk.
I didn't say it would kill you. I said it was impossible.
Why is it impossible?
Because even she wasn't trying her hardest. She thought she was, but trying your hardest to what? If you're stupid, you might decide to try your hardest to do a stupid thing like she did. But what point are you making?
I don't think that trying your hardest is going to like. I play League of Legends, and I try my hardest, and nothing happens.
You try to try your hardest, but you
Yeah.
don't.
How do you know I'm not? Or what could I have done more?
You quit your job.
No, I'm talking about one individual game.
Yeah, me too. Quit your job and play League of Legends. And
I don't need to do that to
whatever
play.
family you have, you could ignore them and be better at League of Legends.
How does that make my one game better? My 1 30-minute game.
What are you talking about?
I'm trying my hardest on one game for 30 minutes.
That's not trying your hardest. Time equals effort.
What the heck? I'm saying I'm trying my hardest for one game. I'm not trying hardest to be the best player. I'm saying for this one game, I'm going to try my hardest.
Trying very, very hard. I agree you're trying very, very hard.
Trying your hardest for that one thing and start with that game.
Right. Good point, Deidre. Trying your hardest for that game doesn't start and stop in that half hour. It's that game isn't worth trying your hardest. It's just worth trying hard enough to have a lot of fun.
If he was trying his hardest.
Yeah, so it's not worth trying the hardest, but I'm still trying my hardest to win.
The reason nothing is worth trying your hardest, and that's why nature made it impossible for us to do most of the time, is because it's really dangerous to do it.
So why would you want to live up to your potential then, if it's dangerous and not good for you?
I would want to find the strongest balance.
So then it's not a problem that you didn't live up to your potential.
I want the optimal balance between power and longevity.
So then it's not a problem that we don't live up to our potential because our potential is too dangerous.
It absolutely is a problem, and it isn't. See how everything related to morality is inherently self-contradictory?
Okay, how is keeping promises contradictory?
Because
you're trying your hardest, and we can't ever try our hardest. Okay. Where did this come from, man? This philosophy.
Oh man, just my brain over the last 22 years.
Are you 22?
Yeah. How old are you?
28.
Nice. You have a family?
No.
Hmm.
I used to be married.
For how long?
For 4 years.
Was that the whole time you were together, or how long were you together before you got married?
We were together for like 5 years.
Interesting.
6 years.
How long ago did that stop?
That was last year.
Wow. I'm sorry.
Do you have a family? You have a wife?
Not yet. I wish.
Are you a traditionalist or are you a trad thought?
Can you define that a little better for me?
Are you a traditional thought?
I consider myself a very traditional person, but my philosophy professor tried to tell me that my brains were so open that they were falling out of my head. So that's a contradiction, right?
How is that a contradiction?
Well, because he's deriding me for being an open-minded person.
Well, there is a problem with being too open-minded because you don't know what's real and you just accept what everyone tells you.
Yeah, but I don't do that.
Okay, then you weren't too open-minded.
Right, that's what I told him too.
Why was he saying you? Why did he think you were?
Oh man, I don't remember, but he was super biased.
Yeah, that's what everybody tells you. If they don't agree with your point, they'll just say, "Oh, you're too open-minded," and whatever.
Yeah, it's not an argument; it's a dismissal.
Yeah.
Well, if it's true, it's an argument. But if it's false, then it's just them being rude to us.
So you started a cult?
I mean, not literally, but yes, also figuratively, literally.
Did anybody join?
Oh, that's not how it works. I put people in, and then if they want to leave, they can.
What do you teach them?
Anything they're willing to learn from me, which is the same thing that I want to learn from them. Anything they're willing to teach that I don't already know.
So it's not really a cult. You have to teach them how to like.
Every cult leader has to teach his disciples.
But you have to teach them how to live life and how to be happy. You can't just say, "Oh, I teach them
Yes,
whatever they
that
want
is
to learn."
my intention.
Okay.
That's the whole point. I want people to be happy, and I want people to see that I can make other people happy.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah. By talking to them. I want to help people solve their problems. And I want them to help me solve mine.
What problems do you have?
That's irrelevant right now.
All right, are we gonna get onto like some political
I have all
topics?
sorts of stuff I can, so nihilism, go.
Okay, nihilism. Do you think that's a risk of atheism?
I think it's evil, yes. And I do think it's directly correlated, strongly.
But do you think that some people can handle atheism, but other people, are going to be struggling with it and they're going to think life is meaningless and they're going to be depressed?
Yes, just like there's good Christians and worse Christians.
But at least the Christians, they have like a belief in God to keep them going,
Right. And
But the atheists,
Hillary Clinton.
Hillary Clinton?
Yeah, that's what atheists have.
How does that help them?
Christopher Hitch. Someone to believe in, right?
Oh,
Future to believe in?
but Hillary doesn't really care about you.
Yeah, that's my point.
So how can you believe in Hillary Clinton?
If you're deluded.
Oh, that's why there's so many deluded Hillary fans?
Yeah, they're nihilists.
They think Hillary's going to take care of them, or Hillary's...
They think Hillary is triggering them less. That's all they care about.
She's what?
Triggering them less. That's all they care about, and it's pathetic.
Why would they care?
Because when they figured out that Christianity was a lie, then they decided they couldn't deal, and they thought maybe everything was a lie.
But why would they worship someone just because?
Well, they're just super insecure now.
Just because someone triggers you less, that's not a reason to follow.
It's not a good reason.
So they would follow anybody who doesn't trigger them. They would.
That's what all politicians are about. Not triggering specific people in the right way.
But Trump's the ultimate triggerer, and he won.
Not for Trump rally attendees. He doesn't trigger them negatively.
He doesn't trigger the whites.
He does actually, more than anyone else, but positively. His strategy is a total inverse of Hillary Clinton's. Hillary said, "I'm gonna be the least triggering person that I can be," which was a dumb move because she's inherently very triggering because we know a lot about her and her crimes. But Trump did the total opposite. So basically, we looked at both and said, well, at least he said he's a fucking dick.
So you were a Trump guy?
Yeah.
You are a Scott Adams guy?
Yeah.
I love that picture with Scott Adams with his girlfriend.
Oh, yeah. Sexy.
She's freaking hot.
Yeah. That's, you should read his book. I haven't yet, but you and I should both read his book probably. It's called
Win Bigly.
How to Fail at Everything and Still Win Big.
Oh, I think I read something about it. I don't know. I don't think I read the whole book.
Cool.
But I want to read it now. I want to get a girl like that, dude. Holy crap.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He was told to his face by two separate female bosses of his when he was in the traditional workforce, let's say, working his ass off, long days and long nights. told by two separate female bosses of his that they just couldn't promote any more white men into management. Sorry. So he decided to not do that anymore and not try that hard at that and write comics instead. And he did it really well. And now he has that.
How the heck wouldn't they hire whites?
Because they're racist. Why else?
I don't believe that, man.
Okay, you don't believe his testimony?
Where did you hear that?
From his own mouth?
Scott Adams' white male management? What was their reasoning?
He didn't give reasoning. Why do you think he got pissed?
That's why he's a Trumper?
He's like the most milquetoast Trumper you could imagine.
He doesn't even support Trump. He just says, I think Trump's going to win.
No, he supports Trump.
He never said, every
Yes.
time I heard him, he never said he supports Trump. He just says, here's why
Yeah,
I
he
predict.
says a new thing every day, see?
Well, it's good thing they fired him because now he can do cartoons, right?
Yeah, he's insanely successful now, right?
Yeah.
He could have spent his whole life as a slave to them, right?
I don't believe in jobs. I think you should always be planning your exit.
I believe in work. Yeah.
So every time I'm at work, I'm planning my exit to get out.
I believe in work and career, but yes, not jobs.
What work do you do, bro?
I deliver food.
You're an Uber?
Postmates.
You're a Postmater?
Mm-hmm.
Is that why you say, every time you say freaking silence is golden, you're going to go deliver some food?
Nah. See, because for me, I also consider myself to be an amateur philosopher. So.
What do you do then for philosophy?
This, what I'm doing right now.
But this is only your third stream.
Yes, and I recently started.
But so how can you say you were doing this?
Did I say professionally or did I say I'm an amateur?
Well, how are you an amateur if this is only your third stream?
What do you mean, how am I an amateur? Because I'm not making money yet.
So what have you been doing every time you say silence is golden and you're not working at Postmates? You're working on your philosophy or not?
Yes,
What are you working on?
I'm working on communicating with my friends
Oh,
more effectively.
aren't you going to school for philosophy?
I was, but I'm moving, so I'm going to have to start over at the new place. Not for philosophy, though, psychology, and then law.
So you're going to law school?
Yeah, after my undergrad in psych.
What are you going to do there?
What?
What are you going to do for law school?
What do you mean?
Are you going to be a politician or what? A lawyer?
No, I'm going to be this professionally.
So why do you go to law school?
Credibility.
Oh. So you're going to be a psychologist like Jordan Peterson?
Yeah,
Have you read his book yet?
no. I listened to him a lot, though. Until it got boring.
You're bored of him now? He repeats the same stuff, right?
Yeah, everyone does, right?
But his book is really good. His book is really new.
Right. I'm trying to not repeat the same stuff that everyone else is repeating. That's my quest in life.
So you are what? What do you do for philosophy, for your amateur philosophy? You just...
I challenge my friends to speak to me live so that I can create content. And also, part two to that, which is more important, which I have not started yet, which makes me lame, is daily content creation without other people, just me, of just original and interesting and comedic content of at least 10 minutes in length every day.
10 minutes of content?
Yeah, that's not hard.
But you haven't done any yet.
Okay.
You're going to start?
I can upload one before the end of tonight after I hang up with you.
That's cool. I have a channel, but it's really old. All my videos are like years
You should
old.
rehabilitate it.
I don't know what to talk about.
Yeah, you have to have something to say.
I have nothing to say.
But I have so much to say because I came to this conclusion about life and about existence and about morality. And I feel like, okay, so the reason why I feel like, this is what I should have been saying all along about your silence is golden question. Oh crap, now I'm forgetting what I'm trying to say. Can you jog my memory a tiny bit?
Okay, why are you saying silence is golden? Are you going to work on your philosophy, amateur philosophy? Or what are you doing in that time?
No, what were you just saying?
I have videos. I want to make videos. How do you make videos? I have nothing to say. We came to a conclusion.
Right. And I had something to say, and that was because I feel like, the conclusion that I came to was that humor can be found, a great joke. If you understand humor well enough, a great joke can be made, a great punchline can be formulated with the foundation of any single word in the dictionary.
What does that mean?
It means everything can be funny if you figure out how to make it funny, legitimately.
Everything can be funny.
Just like everything can be unfunny.
Can you?
Like, it could be the greatest comedian ever, pulled up on your computer screen in front of you, playing a stand-up special, and it's like your favorite comedian and you love him, but if you have like excruciating stomach pain, you're still not going to enjoy it at all.
It's not true.
You're going to enjoy it even less because you're going to hate that you can't focus on it. That's why everything can be unfunny.
I don't think that's true. Or how can everything be funny then? What's the reverse?
Everything can be funny because anything can be situationally paired into an ironic context.
Okay, but it depends. Like when I'm with my friends, one time I was on webcam with my friends and I was like throwing up because I had food poisoning. And I would be smiling and laughing. I'd be like throwing up and I'd come back and smiling and laughing. They thought I was faking it because they thought, why are you laughing? You just threw up.
I mean, do you ever get illnesses that are truly debilitating for you, like migraines?
I guess that doesn't count because after you throw up, you feel good. So I was feeling good after I throw up.
Right. But if you had a migraine, you really couldn't enjoy a stand-up special.
Yeah.
How good the person was, right?
Yeah, like when you're depressed, nothing brings you joy.
Exactly. Because you're like, well, who cares? I still feel really bad for this reason that I think is legitimate.
And when I'm happy, like now, doesn't matter what I'm doing, I'm having fun.
Yes.
Even if I'm
I
doing
have a
something
word for that. I call that moment beauty.
Moment beauty?
I believe that the present moment is the only source of beauty that exists.
Do you feel that every moment or not?
I try my hardest to.
Sometimes I get knocked out, but then I have to remember, oh yeah. So sometimes I get like knocked out of my
I'm picturing someone like punching you.
Like 90% of the time I'm feeling it, but occasionally I'll forget, something will happen and I'll be like snapped into like unhappiness. But then if I refocus, I can snap right back into it.
Right. It's a choice, right?
Yeah, but I have to just remember.
But it's not an easy choice necessarily. I mean, you're able to do it because you're strong, I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I'm better now because now I can recognize, oh yeah, I need to just remember, and then I remember, and then I snap back.
right.
But it
And-
rarely happens because it rarely happens anyway. But even when it does, I just can snap back.
Right, because you always also most of the time you just know that that's pointless already before even feeling that way, and that usually can forestall you coming to quite that low of a low. Although circumstances withstanding, that's not necessarily the case. I know that other people have the power to make us feel terrible,
Not true.
but that's not the same thing as having the power to make us feel sad.
What do you mean? How can they make you feel terrible then?
By hurting you.
What?
By hurting you.
No, they can't hurt you.
People can hurt you, but you can choose to not be triggered about it.
How can they hurt you?
What did you say, Deidre? That's what I said too. What did you say, Ethan?
How can they hurt you? How can people hurt you?
Words and actions.
Words and actions. No, they can't hurt me.
If I punch you in the face, it won't hurt.
Nobody can hurt me, son.
Liar.
Unless you're talking physically.
And so words are never actions.
So he has
Is that what I hear you saying? Words are never actions? In my opinion, promises are actions. Promise breaking is an
It's
act.
not going to hurt me though.
Promise breaking is an act called neglect.
That's not going to hurt me.
Neglect
You understand that I love.
can't hurt you.
No, I love people, but I understand that they're flawed, and they're.
Understanding them doesn't mean they can't hurt you.
Because
It does mean you can choose not to hate them. See the difference?
No, because I'm here to help people. I'm not here to have people help me. So I don't care if.
Oh wait, hold on, Ethan. Deidre's trying to ask you a question. What did you?
His ex-wife ever hurt him with her words.
Oh, geez, that's a rude question to ask.
What did she say?
Yeah, well, he already understands that I could take it there. That would just be impolite.
What did she say?
No, she wants to know if your ex ever hurt you with any of her words or actions.
No.
Okay.
I don't believe you.
So why are you guys divorced then?
Because she didn't like me anymore.
And that didn't hurt.
Not really. It was no, and it wasn't for. It wasn't hurt from her. It hurt. Like I wasn't hurt by her. I was hurt by reality. I blamed reality. I didn't blame her.
What define reality? How do you blame reality? Reality doesn't have agency.
I know, but I
So
was
you
mad
can't blame it.
No, I was mad at nature.
Nature has no agency, and you're wrong to blame it ever.
Then no, because of course you can blame.
You didn't break up with your ex did.
Yeah, you can blame being. You can blame existence.
I think nature is your medicine. Nature is what you love and understand. So that's what you still had or you didn't have.
Because if you say life sucks, I'm going to kill myself, then you're blaming nature, kind of, right?
More importantly, you're not paying yourself enough respect. You're actually blaming you.
No, you're blaming everything else but you. So yes,
one of the two.
No, I think you're blaming. I was blaming myself too. Like I'm such a loser. I don't deserve to live.
It depends. It depends on the person.
Well, that's an easy trap to fall into, right? Because to a degree that's true, and to a degree that's false.
Yeah, and I was also not just blaming myself, but blaming reality. Like, why is life so meaningless and so painful? What's the point?
It's not meaningless, but it is painful. It has the meaning that we ascribe to it.
Right, but if all you feel is pain and chaos, there's no point in there's no meaning anymore. Meaning comes from joy.
All you feel is never pain and chaos, ever, even in your worst moment.
Or if you feel more overwhelming pain than joy, then what's the point?
Just because you can't.
What do you mean? What's the point?
Just because you can't see the meaning through the pain doesn't mean it's not there.
Right. Did you hear that?
Well, even if you can't feel it, what's the point of it being there?
Isn't it irrelevant?
It's called hope. Other people feel it. You see that other people feel it. So if you ever want to get out of it, you got to see that, and that therefore it's relevant.
Yeah, it's aspirational.
The potential, though, that's
right.
Why it's relevant.
Right. People tell themselves that they try their hardest because that's the most tasty lie you can tell yourself.
Then you're no longer to blame.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. People say, I tried my best, but they didn't really try at all, right?
Well, no, that's just not hard enough.
That's an excuse. That's a very excuse, like, I tried my best.
They did try. They did try, or they wouldn't be hurt that they didn't get the thing.
What about people say we're only human?
How's that relevant?
Like, I say, why do you do that? Isn't that bad? And they say, yeah, but we're only human, so I can't.
Why do you do what?
Like, if I something bad things
in general, they're dumb. Simple.
They're not wrong. No one's perfect.
Yeah, no one's perfect.
You still have to try to be better.
Right. You have to try your hardest. What, in my opinion, the only thing that we really should try our hardest to do is figure out how to not be terrible people to other people that we love. I mean, people we don't love, who cares, right? But people we do love, which ostensibly could be every human, although not in reality, they deserve my empathy. I forget what point I was trying to make. Okay, free will. You believe in it? You don't believe in it, right?
So I'm a compatibilist, which means I think there is free will, but it's not the free will that you can go back in time and do things differently. That's not what I mean by free will. By free will, I mean make choices.
So time traveling is impossible.
No, yes. First of all, it's not. It's called remembering. Second of all,
you can't basically go back and change what you've done.
No, I'm not saying go back in time, but if somehow magically we could have gone back in time, could you have acted differently?
Okay. The problem is.
Oh, so you think
that
people have no options for their choices? That there's only one ever choice for each option, for each decision that they have to make? Like in life, you don't have no.
It sounds like you believe in. It sounds like you believe in fate. That is what Deidre is saying. Laplacian.
We have choice, and we can deliberate.
Was it
determinism?
Yeah. Determinism.
Yeah. Hard determinism. That's what Sam Harris stands for.
No, because I think we can make choices, but
hard determinists also believe that we make choices. They just don't believe that we ever are the authors of those decisions to any degree.
I believe I'm the author.
To some degree.
So if you're the author and you can make choices, how do you believe that if you could go back in time that you could achieve something else?
Yeah.
Because that's how it would have happened.
How could you not be able to choose something else?
Because that's how it happened.
If you have knowledge of the future before the future happens, then why would you not be able to make a different choice?
If you're the author and you have options.
Because in this environment, it would always turn out that way. We were always going to stream tonight. That's just how it was going to. There's no way I would have chosen to say, nah, I don't want to stream. I changed my mind.
Only probably.
Probably, yeah.
But only probably, not for sure. Easily could have still not streamed tonight or streamed 4 days ago.
Or some outside effect could have happened, like a power outage, or
a truck could have hit my car on the way home from Safeway.
Right. So in this environment, we were going to stream because everything happened this way.
Define this environment.
So what does compatibilism then mean to you?
Okay, to me, compatibilism means we are almost entirely unfree in the decisions that we make because we're a slave. We're slaves to our desires. We don't get to pick them mostly. And then to a degree we do. And that's the part that is each of our individual moral philosophies that we all have, whether we like it or not.
So I could have chosen differently.
Yeah. And that's irrelevant mostly, right?
I don't like the going back in time though. I want to have a different argument.
Oh yeah, it's a crappy argument.
Yeah, I don't like going back in time.
No, see, that's what I was trying to say from the first when you first started bringing up going back in the past, because it's constantly what hard determinists bring up as their argument. Like, oh well, if you went back in the past, you never could make a different decision. You'd make the same decision over and over 1,000 times in a row if you could rewind the world. But the amount of hubris that it takes to utter the phrase, if you could rewind reality.
I don't like that argument.
Is ridiculous. And no one freaking knows what would happen if you did that. That's the point. I mean, it's very weak to base an argument on something that theoretical.
Well, you don't choose your thoughts. Your thoughts just appear in reality.
To a degree, you choose your thoughts.
How?
To the same degree that you author anything.
Well, in my mind, some thoughts come to me randomly, but some thoughts are chosen by me, and it's kind of like a feedback loop where I think about things and then I get some random thoughts mixed in, but some of it is just created by me.
Right. So the way I think about it is the feedback loop, which is the reality that we live in, is a circle in my mind. It's circular. And then our consciousness represents a third and many more actually dimensions on top of that.
If we do not create any thoughts in our brains, and our brains would never have inner conflict, in my opinion.
Wait, say that again, Deidre?
If we never created thoughts in our brains, just they all just came to us and we didn't author any, then we would never have inner conflict in our brains, in my opinion.
Yeah.
We would never get stuck on anything.
We wouldn't have inner dialogue, and we wouldn't struggle.
Why we wonder or think about anything?
Yeah.
If thoughts just came.
When you contemplate, that is when you contemplate well, that's when you're trying your hardest to be an original author. When you just sheeple and knee jerk after everyone else, like most people do, that's when you are acting like you don't have free will.
I read this statistic earlier today, and it said 2% of people think, 3% of people think that they think, 95% of people would rather die than think.
Yeah, I know that one.
So in my context, that's like 2% of people are thinking. That's like me and you. And 3% of people think they're thinking. That's like the rest of my chat. And then 95% of people can go suck a cock.
Yeah, that's funny. The 2% is me and you, and the 3% is the other skeptics.
Yeah,
all the other skeptics.
Who's good at thinking too.
And then the 95 are the people who don't watch YouTube.
And the fedora tipping atheists. No, they're in the 3%. See,
the fedoras, yeah, they're in the 3% too.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
But the 95% are like the Kim Kardashians.
No,
not even.
Kim Kardashian probably at best.
No,
she's at least 3, maybe 2.
Right, maybe 2. But
I mean, the people who watch her, yeah.
Well, look how. I mean, okay. First of all, It wasn't no accident that sex tape happened. It was choreographed to make maximum profit. So
Yeah.
is she a winner or what?
And her mom was the one who fucking released it.
Yeah, her family choreographed it for her.
So those people,
and then after that, her dad, dear old dad, already an Olympic medalist, felt so upstaged and he got a sex change so he could be a real Kardashian.
So those people are at least 30%.
Yeah, they're at least in the 3%, and they're rich as fuck. So I'm leaning toward 2%. I mean, their father is an Olympic bronze medalist. Oh, I mean mother. Do I say father or mother? Hi, Bruce Jenner.
So why do people think that they think, but they don't think?
Because they're dumb, remember?
Everyone knows they should think.
No, the 95% are dumb, and 3% are ignorant, and the 2% are in pain.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It means
Pain
exactly
is
what
the
it said.
How are they in pain?
Pain is the only reward for extreme intelligence. It's the only biggest reward. Unless you make it big, like Scott.
Why is it painful?
Because you know,
It's lonely.
you understand
Oh.
how disrespectful everyone is being to you, and they don't. You see?
Being smart is lonely.
Lonely.
But you don't need friends if you're intelligent. You have fun. I have fun.
Man,
everyone needs
so
friends.
Yeah.
It's nature.
Yeah.
We are
That's
social beings.
That's why you're born with a friend that you can talk to in your own head.
But that's not enough.
Right. You still get lonely because we already know all the things that we're capable of thinking of.
Just look at geography. We obviously seek companionship. We are pack like a species.
Yeah.
Why do so many people like follow the herd? Because you don't have to think at all. You just follow, right?
It's
pragmatically easier if you're dumb. See?
Oh.
Stupid.
But if you're smart, you don't need to do it, right?
If you're
smart, it literally hurts to do it.
If you're smart, you're one of two things: you're ignorant 3%er or in pain 2%er.
You can't. It hurts to be normal if you're smart. You know, it's like it's like having a brain that operates on 100% and trying to force it to operate on 10. It's like trying to fit yourself in a mold that's
10 sizes too small.
It's really hard to go on dates too because you can't relate to anyone.
Yeah, right.
Like what? Say too much, you know. What if you think too much and show that you actually think? It's just...
Right. What if you trigger her too badly by because like women get triggered they literally get triggered by microaggressions all the time, right?
Yeah.
So we don't, and that's a problem for us because we have to learn how to translate what we like to say into what they like to hear.
What I like to call it is speaking bitch. You have the most lucrative language to learn. Well, first would be English, and then after that, you must learn how to speak bitch if you ever want to make any money. Just saying, or fuck any pussy. Just
right,
you know,
or get it.
How do I learn how to speak it?
Experience with women.
Dating
with bitches in general.
Date a really rude woman.
Having a really rude mom helps.
Yeah. My mom was really rude, but she was also like one of the nicest people ever. It's oxymoronic like that.
But the bigger a bitch your mom is, the more bitch you'll speak growing up.
My mom's really nice.
But then,
it's a lucrative language. So I think so. I mean, and bitches are respected in the community. I mean, I am one, so I know. So
see, straight from the horse's mouth.
Right.
Wow.
I mean, when when I'm walking to a store and I ask for help finding something, and people just get the air of me that I am not easy to just walk all over, that it would not be easy to just tell me no, like, oh, I'm on break or some shit, people respect that. So it's not like the nice thing it's to be, but it is a lucrative thing to be, is all I'm saying.
Right. We're aggressive in different ways, men and women, and we care about different things. Like, I have this view that men and women are in they've been forever locked in a sort of an archetypal and ferocious debate over what's worse, murder or rape. Which do you think is worse, Ethan, murder or rape?
Oh, murder.
That's what I thought. Which do you think is worse, Deidre, murder or rape?
Rape.
Oh, she said rape.
Your victims have to live with your rape, basically.
Well, why would you want to live? Why would you want to die when you can keep living?
I'm not saying you would want to die. I'm just saying it's worse to do. If you're gonna rape someone, at least kill them so that they don't have to live with your bullshit.
You don't have to. Yeah. I'd rather be alive than just be dead. I don't care.
That's how I feel about it too, but I think that's a masculine attitude.
Right.
Why is it worse to be alive? It's just because you've been raped.
I'm not saying that the victims would want to die, but I'm just saying that the perpetrators should assume that the victims would want to die because of the terrible thing that they're doing to them. Because they do want to die immediately.
They do feel like they want to die when it's happening.
Right.
Even if they'd never kill themselves.
But they get over it.
Right.
Maybe. Always to some degree, unless they commit suicide. And
some
then
people,
that's still technically getting over it.
Some people can't handle it though. Some people, they never recover.
Well,
no woman ever recovers from rape.
The lamest form of recovery is suicide.
I don't agree with that. I think the human mind is so powerful it can overcome anything.
No, not death.
Besides, I mean overcome emotionally, anything. There's people who survive freaking Holocaust camps.
I don't know if getting past something is the same thing as recovering something. I don't know if getting over something is the same thing as recovering something.
No, you're just
being able to live on and recovering. I don't know.
No, I'm talking about living passionately and living happy life after. I'm not saying forget it happened. I'm saying, can you live a happy, passionate life?
But can you live as happily and as passionate of a life?
Yes.
If you're female?
Yes.
How would you know? You aren't a female.
Why does it matter?
Men and women aren't different.
I would argue that after rape, there's no way that you can live this anywhere near the same kind of life that you lived.
I disagree with that.
Just like if you lost a child or something, you would never be happy like you were before you lost.
I disagree with that.
Okay, well, this is a fun fact because I haven't been raped, but I have been molested when I was 11 years old in a public restroom of a library where I lived at the time by a young boy who was 14 years old at the time.
So you're a happy life and you're really smart and you're passionate. You're helping. You want to help people.
I need to make a point though because it's not about that. You are sure that you could still live a happy and fulfilling life if you got raped. Because you're a really strong person in my estimation. Yeah. Like I consider myself to be. But the 95% are like orders of magnitude not the same as people like us.
Right.
And that's not even going into the big genetic and cultural and evolutionary differences between men and women.
So everyone has the potential, though, I think. I'm not saying everybody can do it, but I'm saying everyone has the potential to.
Okay, no. I think for a woman, sexual PTSD never goes away at all the way.
You never don't have it.
For a man, I think it's easier for us to move on from
Can I get a citation on this?
romantic trauma.
Where's your citation?
That I think. My citation is my subjective lived experience.
What leads you to think that? What leads you?
What did I say again?
What leads you to think that women and men handle it differently? What did you come to that conclusion?
Because
well, I have a good argument for that. Well, number one is the fact that men never even report rape ever, and women do. I mean, they don't. I think that the statistics are that less women, the majority of women who are raped don't report it, but a large minority do. Or if it's not that, then a small majority do. And
what does reporting have to do with recovering?
Reacting. You said that they don't react differently. Reporting rape.
No, I'm not saying reporting.
It's reacting to it. They do react significantly different to that. Men are very, very much more secretive about being raped than women are. You see what I'm saying? So that's one big argument for the fact that they don't react to it.
Okay.
I would say it's an argument in favor of the conclusion that they react less negatively to being raped than women do.
I would say so, yes.
Because they're stronger psychologically.
Physically.
Psychologically. When they're being raped.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's triggering.
How did we get such an autistic discussion?
Because you asked me if you could, and then I was like, oh, yes.
What is an autistic discussion?
We're talking about like rape and.
Oh, that's like good shit, man.
Talking about rape is an autistic discussion.
We could go double or nothing and talk about the age of consent right now.
Oh my god.
I'm at your disposal, Ethan.
So like my cult that I was born in, they said if you get raped, it's better to kill yourself before you get raped.
Which cult?
I don't agree.
The Moonies. They told you to bring a knife with you, and in case you were raped, you can kill yourself before you get raped because it's better to die.
Well, that's not true.
Well, isn't that what you said? That it's better rape?
No. What the point me and Dieter were trying to make was that for a woman, it's less possible, much less, significantly less possible to lead as happy of a life.
Yes. Okay.
As you otherwise would.
I can agree with that. Yeah. I don't disagree with that.
Which is, in my opinion, the reason why women disagree with men that that murder is the worst crime.
Oh, so that's why more women, but that doesn't explain why they think it's worse than murder. That explains why more women would think so than men. That's your point?
I'm not saying it's worse than murder. I'm a man, remember?
No, I'm saying that's why women think it's, on average, women are more likely to rate it worse than murder.
It's because women get triggered by a rape more than murder.
And men get triggered by murder more than rape.
Because men are like murderers and women
are like rapists.
Women
it's the other way around.
Men are murder victims, women are rapists.
Actually, it's not true, right? In prison,
women are murderers and men are rapists.
Just like men are murder victims and women are rape victims.
Because even when a man kills a man, 9 times out of 10, it was because of a woman somehow. Whether it was jealousy over a sex interest.
That's why we need to be traditional. Or
simply the bad parenting of his mother.
We need to be traditional, because if we keep doing this polyamorous stuff, then
Define traditional.
Wait, so rape and murder didn't happen back in the day either? Oh, that's a new problem? Rape and murder?
no, traditional marriage is new.
What?
Mhm.
Right. So the point is, we have to compromise. That's why promises are necessary. That's where romance comes from.
So I gotta promise something.
Promise.
Promise if someone else does.
What?
You promise if someone else does.
I promise to do for you if you do for me.
What do I have to promise?
It's situational. You have to promise. You don't. It's not. There's no one thing. You just have to mean it when you say it.
I think we're talking about a worldwide cultural morality that everyone has to agree to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, universally shared values.
Yeah.
Yes.
But what are they?
Right.
How do we?
Hating, murder, and rape.
We already agree. Everybody already agrees on that.
Everyone agrees about that.
Yeah.
Literally everyone. Even the people that do it.
Nobody's serious.
And
Nobody participating in the discussion would disagree with you.
Wait, what?
Nobody who's participating in these discussions of setting up the morality would disagree with that.
Right. So that's at least the best place to start with a
right.
With the world.
But then the problem is, see, what really pisses me off about the free will thing is you have people like Sam Harris and Steven Pinker, etc., who are avowedly not compatibilists, and because of that, they deny people culpability for their actions. Oh, thanks. Are
Right.
you coming to join me? Maybe?
No.
They deny culpability.
Yeah. So, and societally speaking, what that leads to, like what we see happening in Sweden and the UK, among other places in Europe, like rape victims, rapists, brutal rapists being sent, adult brutal gang rapists being sentenced to weeks to months in prison for raping children. That's what that leads to. Because when you deny people some concept of taking the full brunt of their responsibility for their actions, even though that runs totally counter.
Okay, but how about this? They do experiments where they show that your brain can predict what you're going to do before you even think about it.
They haven't proven that they can predict it perfectly.
What do you mean? What do you mean perfectly? They've proven that they can figure out.
What exactly did they prove?
They prove that your brain lights up and they can predict what you're going to do before you do it.
And I don't believe they can do so with 100% accuracy.
Okay. Yeah,
Especially the further into the future you try to predict.
What can they do?
Yeah.
I mean, are there finite variables or infinite variables? Can you even answer that question? Right?
What do you guys think?
Yeah, I don't think the study is perfect, but they take it.
It can't be perfect until we answer that question, right?
Yeah.
Are there finite variables to consider or infinite variables to consider? As far as we know, it's infinite because that's what the cosmos appears to be.
Yeah.
So then it's impossible to genuinely predict with 100% accuracy, I think.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what else do they say why there's no free will?
That's it. That's
because it's our brain.
Yeah, that's the
There's-
same idea. Though.
They say, oh, it's your genes and your environment. That's it.
Right. They say everything happens because of preceding things only. And,
Well, no, it's because this is your genes and your environment.
mhm.
So there's no you. It's just your
And
genes and
also
environment
have-
reacting
and
together.
you also have a cool thing called your mind.
Or soul.
But your mind is created by your genes and environment.
Right.
So-
There's just throwing out the whole idea of individuality.
They're
Right.
saying they're trying to bait and switch you into agreeing with them that authorship is not a thing for you in your life.
Well, it's not a thing for me because it's just my genes and environment.
Any degree ever.
But that's why I'm a capitalist, because I think
Yeah.
it's not just my genes and environment. There's also my brain making
Didn't
choices.
you just say it was just your genes and environment?
Oh, I was explaining their position.
Oh yeah.
Devil's
Thank you.
advocate.
Steelman.
I was
like
steel
that.
manning there. Yeah. Because I don't agree with them, because I do make choices and it's my brain. It's not just my genes and environment. It's me. It's my
Well,
brain.
I mean, it is mostly our genes and environment, right?
Yeah.
But in situationally, it's us to some degree or
Oh,
another.
I
Right?
would say it'd be like, if you could call it a percentage, you make like
Right.
5% of your decisions.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's it.
I like to say 1%.
We have 5% free will. I've heard that before.
Let's call it 2%.
No, because I've heard 5% in my religion too. They taught us that.
Oh, really?
Well,
Well,
that's
that's still
probably-
an optimistic estimate, I would.
And I've heard that from other people too, that we're 5%.
I think that's sort of an upliftingly hyperbolic interpretation of how much freedom we have, but I do appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, you could be highballing it a shit ton, but to be opportunistic.
But it doesn't really matter. Well, okay, so I would
It doesn't
agree.
matter what the specific percentage is. Just the
Actually,
fact that there is.
5%, it kind of makes sense to me as I think about it, because if it's if you're just going through your day on like just going from place to place, like getting your stuff done that you normally need to get done.
Autopilot.
Yeah, if you're doing that, you're probably resting at like a 1% or less.
Yeah.
But when you agonize over a decision in your life, who knows how high you're going, right?
Yeah. And some people are.
There's gotta be a cap.
It's the more intelligent you are, I believe, the higher percentage.
Yeah. So some people would use like 1%. Some people would be using 10%.
Right.
Or much more. Even.
I'd be using 50%.
Yeah.
We all like to think that, right?
Yeah, don't we?
I mean, in your case, it could potentially be true in some cases.
Oh my God. So we can raise people's percentage
Yeah, by educating them,
by teaching them how to be weird though.
Yeah.
by teaching them how to be brave,
Yeah.
You know that already weird.
and that they already have the power to be brave.
Oh my God.
It's like he's on us.
Deidre was like, Ethan's acting like he's on LSD.
I'm always on LSD.
Yeah, I know. That's what's funny. Right, Alex?
I'm constantly high on life, bro.
Man, me too, bruh. Me too. It's the only way to be happy, right?
Yeah.
Right, and it's a choice, right?
And I drink green tea.
Oh, I love green tea, man.
You love green tea?
Yeah, what brand?
Tazo.
Oh, nice. You're a genuine tea drinker. I need to get on your level. I
What do
have
you do?
bottled tea.
Bottled.
Yeah.
What do you
It's not good for me, I know.
You buy bottles of green tea? Is that what you drink every day?
No, water. Water is my drink of choice.
Yeah. I make tea bags and I make hot water and I make tea every day.
That's awesome. It does stain your teeth,
Yeah.
but brushing works.
I used to drink coffee, but I feel like Superman for a few hours and then I crash.
Crash doesn't bother me, but it makes me have to urinate like constantly
Yeah.
when I drink caffeine. So
So why do you like Donald Trump?
So I decided to vote for him. This is kind of an interesting story. So originally I was a Bernie Sanders supporter.
Yeah.
When the primaries had just begun in 2016 or whatever, end of 2015 maybe. And then beginning of 2016, I had been doing that for long enough that I was not happy with that anymore so much. And I wasn't ready to jump ship yet. But then Trump started talking about banning Muslim immigration. And so I was like, huh, that's cool. So then I started listening to Trump. And then I took another listen to Sanders. And I was like, huh, well, that's dumb. So then I was like, cool, it's Trump.
So you only care about Muslim immigration?
No, that was just my most pressing issue at the time.
Why do you care about that?
I think Islam is a pretty barbaric culture.
You're racist.
Misogynist, homophobe, transphobe.
Murderous.
You said murderous?
Mm-hmm. Murderous.
I'm murderous?
No, they are.
Oh, they are?
Yes.
Yeah, me too, right?
Yeah, you murdered just as many people as Muslims.
I've murdered just as many people as the Muslims that haven't murdered anyone.
I thought you were like a Christian though. Christian, cultural Christian.
I'm a legacy confirmed Catholic.
So why do you hate Islam if you like Christianity?
That's like the dumbest question I ever heard in my life, bro.
So everyone who likes
because they're really, really different.
Why?
Because everyone's moral philosophy is different.
So are you like an atheist or what? Anti-theist or what?
I'm not an anti-theist. I am a Gnostic atheist, which means I know for a certainty that there could be no such thing as a God.
How do you know?
It's definitionally impossible. Define God.
God is the creator of the universe.
No, he isn't. If he exists, which he doesn't, he isn't.
Wait.
We have science that tells us the universe created itself in the midst of the cosmos. Ask Lawrence Krauss.
So science knows for sure that it created itself?
Cosmology, that's Lawrence's specialty.
But he doesn't know for certain.
Of course not, no one does.
Then why are you saying you're Gnostic?
Christians or Muslims, though.
Then how are you Gnostic?
What?
If you don't know for certain, you just said you know for certain.
You can't know for certain based on empirical evidence or research. That's why Lawrence isn't impressing you. My belief is based on logical evidence.
Okay, so you know for sure, but it's not based on evidence, based on logic, right?
Logic can't be legitimate evidence?
No, you're saying you know for certain, but now you're saying you don't know for certain.
I never said I don't know for certain. In this video.
I asked you, like, how can you be certain that, how can you be certain?
Because, okay, I'll explain it better. Because I'm sure there could be no such thing as a God. Because I define God as, and I think this is the standard definition of God also. This is why I define this. I define God as a being, an entity, a sentient entity, which has the capability to transcend the laws which govern its own mass.
Why is that impossible?
It just is. It's tautologically impossible.
Its own mass, but it's outside of mass.
anything that it can do, there are rules that explain how it can do it, or it doesn't exist. And if there are rules that explain how it can do what it can do, it's not a god. It's an alien at best.
Oh, okay, I see. So it.
So
You're
if you
not-
see that no matter what it can do, there logically have to be reasons why it can do those things.
Okay.
From a standpoint of
Then why do you support Christianity? Why are you a cultural Christian?
Pragmatically.
What's pragmatic about it? Are you a praggy prince?
Muslims want to kill me more than Christians do on average.
So you think you want the Christians to fight the Muslims?
No, I know they already do want to fight them. I'm just trying to provide them some cover from the 3%.
I believe that Christianity has done more good than bad.
Why are you so scared of Muslims, bro?
I mean, I'm always triggered and I'm always chill, bruh.
There's no Muslims don't do anything in America.
Yes, they do. Look it up.
Bro, I live in Somaliland.
Okay, well.
I live in Minneapolis, man.
Yeah.
There's nothing going on here.
Happening in your state, bruh. Look it up.
No, it's not. I live here.
Minnesota, I promise.
Dude, I live here, bro. There's nothing going on.
You're wrong. Google it. Jihad. Islamic Jihad in Minnesota.
Why didn't you believe that I live here?
What?
Why wouldn't I know what's going on if I live in the state and I go to Minneapolis all the time?
You only see your life?
I go downtown Minneapolis like every weekend.
Yeah. Rape gangs aren't doing it in the streets of downtown, bro.
So you're scared of being raped or killed?
My daughters, yes.
Okay. So you want the Christians. Why do you want the Christians again? So they can defeat the Muslims or fight the Muslims? What? How is Christians being here going to
I
help?
also believe in defeating Christianity.
You just said you're not anti-theist and you support cultural Christianity because they're better than Muslims.
Defeating it as an
an
ideology to the degree that it's wrong.
Supporting cultural Christianity does not equate to Christians being the superheroes and Muslims.
Right. I'm the superhero that's going to defeat the Muslims.
So why can't?
But they're the soldiers.
Oh, so we're gonna direct these little peon soldiers to fight, right?
No, they already want to. We're just going to get the fedoras to shut up while they do it.
So they're gonna fight. We're gonna let them fight. We're gonna be the ones behind the scenes. The fedoras are gonna be the guys protesting, getting triggered.
Yes.
And we're gonna be the ones.
Not entirely without legitimacy, right?
Yeah. That's pretty interesting. So they're gonna fight each other like in a war, like a battle.
Are and have been forever for 1,400 years.
They're gonna fight like kill each other, or just they're gonna debate each other.
Fight and kill each other in thousands every day.
But nobody does that anymore.
That's not true.
Europe? Hello?
Africa?
I lived in Europe.
Versus Muslim warfare is fucking intense in Africa.
There's a Wikipedia list going on right now of the bombings going on in random places in Europe.
I mean,
popping up
Jesus Christ! Just look at us, for example. We are a Christian nation, in theory, and in practice to some degree, and we bomb the shit out of Muslim countries all the time. In 2015, we dropped so many bombs on Syria, we ran out of bombs.
Do you understand that that's not Christians? That's not Christians versus Muslims. That's a country going to war.
And it is.
It's not little Christians, abortion
It's-
protesters.
It isn't, and it is.
But what's the number one religion in this country?
Yeah, what's the number one religion in this country, bro?
Well, we went to war for Syria because
Wait,
Syria
wait,
was.
hold on. You remember, you've seen those political, have you seen any of those political maps where they fill in the red versus blue for the colors for how the 2016 election ended up,
Yeah.
but they don't fill it in by state, they fill it in by county?
Yeah.
And how it's like a sea of red?
Yeah.
That's the Christian parts of America.
What's the point?
That's the point.
So
They're the ones trying to fight to protect traditional culture, like you are.
Oh. So the sea of red is the rural Christians, right?
Yeah. And it's a big fucking ocean too, right? But we're slipping too. I mean, the percentage of the voting population that's Christian is declining with every election. And the percentage that's white, by the way.
But they're Christians. We're not going to Syria because we have Christians saying I disagree with your book. We went to war in Syria because there's a civil war and we wanted to help, and they're gassing people.
Oh, okay. Maybe. Yes, we did do that for that reason, partially, maybe.
We didn't go there for religious reasons, not because of the Bible.
We went there for multiple reasons, like we do everything.
Economic and political, but not religious.
Religious is part of political.
Well, I would argue that it's one of the religious parts of us. I think
Everyone
that gives us the excuse of having the attitude that we should go in and help other people like Jesus would.
Everyone has a religion, whether they think they do or not.
I think it's us we consider ourselves being Christian by sending our army into a third world country and helping out when they're oppressing themselves. Right.
That's standing up for our Christian values, because we get so triggered when we see other people wronging other people, even though they're not even our people. We go try and crack heads and solve the problem, and sometimes we're dumbasses about the way we try to do it. And all the time, that's not our motivations are not just puritanical. We're after the oil too, right? That's mostly irrelevant.
How is that irrelevant?
Everyone needs money. So what? If we don't do it, someone else is going to do it more evilly. That's the Christian thesis. People are evil, so we need forgiveness.
So why do we need Christians? Why can't we just all become atheists and we can defeat the Muslims easier?
Because being an atheist is difficult.
No, because there's never one thing that fixes everyone. There's no one size fits all. You're never going to get one thing that everyone agrees with. That's why. Even if it's the most perfect thing in the world.
That's why everyone's stupid for trying to make other people convert to their religion. Everyone should just
figure out a way to get the religions that are in the world to get along with each other.
Or make one up yourself that you like. It doesn't really make a difference. As long as you're happy and respectful.
I'm making my own religion.
You said what?
I'm making my own cult.
Yeah, me too. It's cool.
Mine's going to be based on Jesus, but my interpretation.
Oh, well, I'll join your cult.
It's going to be cool because...
If you join mine.
Okay.
Oh, wow, like that's possible.
We need a cult, because cult members, they all they love each other, and it's like having a community and a family.
Yes.
You didn't watch the TV show. What's that TV show about that cult on Hulu? The Path.
Oh yeah, they made this TV show. It was pretty good. You would like it, I think. It's called The Path.
The Path? Oh shoot, I want to watch it.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It is really good. It's like it's triggering too. So
Yeah.
you have to like stick with it. But it's all about this totally hippie ass cult. And
It sounds really good, man.
yeah, yeah. But it's about a family in that cult. And
Yeah.
the father is losing his faith.
That's really cool.
But
Because
the mother, but the mother is like the highest up person in the cult.
but the problem with cults is they have wacky beliefs and they get all. So
Right.
my cult is going to be based on reality and truth.
Yes.
So
Truth
there's
and beauty.
yeah. So there's not going to be any wacky beliefs. So it's going to be fine. We're all going to love each other.
Well, there will be wacky beliefs, but they won't be mandatory.
They won't be mandatory.
Right.
But the teachings aren't going to be weird. The teachings are going to be just basic.
Well, weird is subjective. Other people think we're weird.
I know, but I'm talking like
Yeah, lots of people think it's really weird to be courageous
why?
because they're pussies.
Oh, they think it's weird, yeah.
Yeah.
But they don't think it's bad.
They tell themselves they think it's bad so that they don't have to admit that they're cowards.
Oh. That makes sense. Is that why people don't like me?
Yeah, same reason people don't fucking like me at all. I like you. I like you. I would Patreon you.
You would?
Yeah, I would.
I have a Patreon.
Just out of respect.
I have a Patreon.
Cool. Should link it to me. Direct message.
I don't have any patrons yet.
Oh, I can be your first. That's a privilege. Right?
Yes! My first patron.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You're just lucky you already had an account set up, right? I mean it too.
That's going to be so legit if I already have a patron.
Mm-hmm.
I already have 10 subscribers.
Oh, yeah. I think I do too.
No, I have 20 subs now.
Nice.
20 subscribers.
I couldn't care less how many subscribers I have right now. Like, I just started.
Yeah.
After I get on my daily grind is when I'm really going to start caring a lot.
When are you going to get off?
What?
When are you going to get off your daily grind?
I said on.
Oh. When are you going to get on?
Like I said, tonight after I hang up the call with you, man.
You're going to upload a video?
Probably not tonight. Probably not tonight because Deidre and I are a tad ill, and she's going to want to hang out with me probably after I hang up with you. But tomorrow I will so this is how, right? So remember what I was saying earlier about I think that you can make a good joke out of anything if you think about it hard enough.
Yeah.
So what I intend to do is just quickly browse the internet or my actual real life or anything at my disposal, or like a quick list of 10 things that are intriguing me that aren't the same as any of the things that I ever said before, and then say something either insightful or funny about those things, and make sure I have a healthy ratio of insight to comedy in every.
Can I do that too?
Absolutely.
People are begging me to make new videos.
Everyone can do it.
What?
Everyone can do it, I think. If they're smart as like
people are begging me to make new videos, but I don't know what to do about it.
Right. You just have to so I've realized before I've even done it, I'm realizing that one of the major important things that you need to do when you have a YouTube channel is and you want to create content regularly is you sort of have to have like subdivisional series within your YouTube video list on your channel where you make certain types of videos with a certain type of regularity, and
Yeah.
other types of videos with other type of regularity. Which is why I said that the bottom line would be that I think you just need to be producing at least 10 minutes of content, original, interesting content per day,
Every day? Okay. I'm going to do that.
at least 5 days a week.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to make a note.
Look, I can't not do it if you do it now. See, that's cool, right?
Okay, 5 videos a week, right?
Yeah.
10 minutes. 5 or 10 minutes each.
10 minimum.
10 minutes. 10 minutes of content a day, 5 days a week, 10 minutes. Okay, I could do it.
That's like maybe 4 hours of work a week.
Okay.
Ish. For me, maybe. Maybe more. Maybe like 8 or 10. But I don't really care. I'm excited.
All right. Can we like start a podcast or start our own channel to get
Fuck yes. I would love that, man.
we collab on a
We could
project?
interview people together. How awesome would that be?
Yeah, we should do interviews.
You could be like a better Joe Rogan, bro. I'm serious.
Okay. Let's just do like we'll do a podcast together, we'll make videos together, and we'll do interviews together.
Yeah, I'm down. That's
Okay.
awesome, man. I think that's a good place to.
That's a good place to start, right?
And to stop too.
And we'll do our own video. We'll do our own channel too.
Yeah, we'll have a joint channel.
Okay. All right.
For the podcast, you know?
That's good.
We have to figure out what to call it too, right?
Soy Boy Show.
The Soy Boy Show. That's not bad. Alex would like it, right?
Where's Condor? Where's Alex Condor?
He said he would only show up if we weren't being interesting. So.
Is he watching?
No, I doubt he's watching. But I know he'll watch it back to himself later. He does care.
So you don't know what you're gonna do for your new video next yet? You don't have a topic?
No, not yet. Would you like to call some ideas for me? Hey, let me just jot these down real quick. It really doesn't matter what you say, bro. Anything you tell me, I can make some interesting content about it.
Okay, there's the Italian election. There's TJ Kirk's new.
Whoa, slow down. All right. TJ Kirk.
No, it's my notebook.
It is not your notebook.
Yes, it is.
Well, I'm using this page. All right. You said Italian elections and TJ Kirk. 1 sec while I write that down.
TJ Kirk, he did a response to Jordan Peterson.
Oh, yes, I need to watch that, bro. I'm sure it's going to trigger me.
It's so freaking good.
Okay, all right.
Are you a Jordan Peterson fan?
Yes, but I got bored listening to him, remember?
Oh, yeah. You got to watch the TJ Kirk. It's really good, bro.
All right, cool. Are you a TJ Kirk fan?
No.
Yeah, see?
But
he's
I'm
not
really,
that great, but he has his uses, right?
I'm really excited for his taking on Jordan Peterson. It's going to be a nice battle.
Oh, nice. So he had legitimate criticisms of Peterson then?
Yep, he read the book 12 Rules for Life.
Oh, fucking awesome. No, so now I have to do that. But
Yeah.
I don't. I can just watch TJ's video and then critique that.
Yeah, you should read the book. I've read half of it so far.
Oh, yeah. Well, once I read it, then that's just another topic for another day, right?
Yeah.
Okay. TJ Peterson response. Good.
Then there's Jesus, and then there's nihilism.
Jesus. Well, let's not take it easy, shall we? Jesus. I'm not worried, because what I specialize in is saying things succinctly. And I also suck at that in my day-to-day life. Historically, I've really, really sucked at that. But Deidre taught me how to do it. Because she was super impatient with me. Okay, you said Jesus, nihilism. All right, that's 4. I need 6 more.
What? Why do you need so many?
I said I'm just going to make a list because each one of these is going to be like a minute's worth of content, probably.
Oh,
Really? No, I don't think you should do it like that. You should make it
just browse Twitter for a while.
Oh yeah, no, bro, I can get my own easily. I was just letting you spitball if you wanted to spitball. See, like, okay, I could write some down right now. We'll go. Nah, that's wasting everyone's time, right? I'll think that up on my own time. All right, Ethan. It was a very great pleasure talking to you, sir, and I do hope that you will direct message me your Patreon account.
Okay.
And I also very much hope that we will have a lucrative career together one day.
Yep, I hope so.
Cool.
All right.
Good night, my friend.
Good night. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, sweet dreams.